Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our trading room here. Just a moment, I'll get the screen share going on. All right, everybody should be able to see my screen. If not, please let me know. For those of you new in the room, I see a new name here this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome. First off, let me begin by saying if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I won't single you out or make your question look stupid, I promise. What we've got here is the complete diversified trading system along with the Raptor. So here in the top left, this tool is the Hawk Micro Scalper. Top right is the Falcon Swing Trader. Bottom left is the Eagle Trend Trader. Bottom right is the Raptor. I've also got the Bollinger Band suite from Indicator Warehouse here below each of my charts. We featured that one of our Rabbit Hole Fridays, I guess about 9 months ago now. And I liked it so much, I decided to put it on all my charts. The market I'm following here is the NASDAQ. That's my personal favorite, but I'd be happy to feature another market if you're interested, or perhaps a Forex market. This now the daily NASDAQ, and you can see the market on a pretty good tear here to the upside. We've got a couple trend lines to focus on. And what I've been looking for ever since this breakout is a retest of sorts. We did get a little bit of waffling through here. I would like to think the market's going to do a better retest than that. Volume is up a little, but the bars seem to be a little bit small, and that's a little bit of a concern to me. Volume is a relative indicator, so you want to see big volume on big bars, little volume on little bars. Looks like we're starting the day with a little bit of a move to the downside. The overnight and the Asian sessions, both quite bullish. We might have opened with a slight gap, but it looks like we've more or less filled that. So the market leaving off here around 83.35, and well, we're close, trading at 83.50. So there's still a little bit of a downside gap. But I think we'll give them a moment here to try to settle in. Trade Forecaster says we are in scalp mode. Well, only for about another 4 minutes, then we're moving into swing mode. So maybe things will be smoothing out here a little. All right. Yeah, yesterday's trading was very back and forth, made a move lower, and then the market eventually recovered the move out of the open. So the move out of the open, very bearish, then the market recovering that, getting kind of bullish going into the afternoon, only to fall off again. As we neared the close. haven't had our first in-sync eagle signal yet. With the first in-sync eagle signal, we want that signal to be in line with the trading band. So the market opening here, just as the band transitioning from a bullish band to a bearish band. We'll see if this continues. If we get a signal to sell, that will be our first in-sync signal. And there it is now. Dare I try it? Doggone it. The last few times I've tried the in-sync signal, it hasn't worked out that well. All right, we'll get this out of the way. It's funny, whenever I try it in the room here, it doesn't work. Well, I shouldn't say that. It does work. But when I go back through the chart and I show it to you, it seems like it never fails. Hey, way to go, Ron. Ron off to a strong start here this morning. Says 3 good signals on the hawk, 3 good trades. Nicely done. Yeah, we would have had a nice little first micro macro cross, a little bit of a 4-arrow consolidation, another 4-arrow consolidation. Momentum is slow. You know, for this time of the year, mid-November, you would think the markets would be a little bit more fluid, but I guess there's really not much news going on right now. Yeah. Ron says, I know you're selling the Raptor, but I love the Hawk. Well, actually, Ron, we're selling all of them. The Raptor, I know I featured the Raptor a lot in the room, and that's probably because there are more Raptor owners in the room. And I'm sorry about that for you DTS owners. You need to remind me to show you more trades on the other tools. All right, so we're backing off of this first signal here. I'm going to close the trade and revisit it if it comes around again. Hey, David says I'm short from 83.62 half. Wow, way to go, David. That's almost off the opening bell. Well done. It says second contract just got stopped out for a profit. Well, there you go, you guys. That deserves a golf clap, to be sure. It looks like, you know, we're settling here a little bit. I wonder if there's some overnight. Well, there was a little bit of overnight breakout here. 83.50. Let's go back here to yesterday's session. Yeah, well, there's the high, 83.45. And here we go with another with trend signal. There's not much in the way of structure at the moment. I suppose we could put our just in case order to sell down here, just in case the bottom falls out of the marketplace. And I can preset a profit order. Looks like they may give it a go after all. Or not. Oop, okay. First order of business, let's get our stop loss in. Well, they're thinking about it. I think if we can get on the other side of this 83.49, 83.50 zone, because we're hovering right around the median line. That's this yellow line right here. I think if we can get below there, we might see a little giddy up. Okay, I'm going to roll my stops here to the hard edge. I'm not going to give them much more than that, at least not right now. The Bollingers are in sync now, which is better. Come on, you guys. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting to roll above these bars that have these wicks to them. Still looking for some follow through, obviously. Well, the buyer's making a bit of a pushback here from this median line. I will take the stop out if they tag me. Because if this support zone holds, then there's a good chance they'll try to go higher. In fact, I might even consider a reversal. It's a bit of a sloppy number 2 signal, but there we go. I don't do this often. I don't often reverse on my trades. All right, there we go. First order of business. Let's get a stop loss order in. And let's see, what would be a feasible target? Well, certainly the primary resistance zone. I don't know, do we want to swing for the fences? Maybe we'll go. That might be asking enough right there. We can only take what the market is giving. If it's not in a giving mood, oh really? And this is why I don't normally reverse on my positions. You stinkers. Ah, yep. You think I would have learned that lesson a while ago? I got myself into some serious trouble about 20 years ago playing with reversing my orders. And to add insult to injury, that's what happens. The market tags you both ways. All right, well, we'll leave that alone here for a little bit until they seem to get their bearings, or until I seem to get my bearings. Well, I guess the trend does look as though it is down again. We've got one of these discretionary signals. We've got a trend change signal here on the Falcon. So the trend line going from green to red, here's your trend change signal right here. It looks like we're going to get a second push opportunity on it. These mini swings are enough to drive you crazy. Aspen has a question here. He said, Eric, I missed the first number one signal on the Raptor. Can you explain to us when is the best time to take another one? All right. It all boils down to trend. The number one signal tries to alert you to an emerging trend. If you believe the market is trending, you can really take any of the follow-up signals. You can take any of the discretionary signals. Those will be the ones that print without a number attached to them. So, we've got a discretionary signal here, another one here, over here, and so on. The number 3 signal is also a continuation signal. The difference between the number 3 signal and one of the discretionary signals is that the number 3 signal will retreat and get to the hard edge, either of the fast cloud or the slow cloud, and then bounce and produce a signal that a trend resumption may be in play. So the big question is, do we have a trend? And how do we identify trend? Well, the easiest and perhaps the most reliable way to identify trend is to compare your swing highs and swing lows. So long as the market continues to make lower swing highs and lower swing lows, you can assume a trend is intact. Somewhere through here, the market will eventually make a new swing high, and that's when you start to entertain the possibility of a reversal. See, I got a little bit cute with the market right here. When I was looking for the reverse, when I took this buy signal, I mistakenly assumed that the market would retest this high. It did not. In fact, it turned shortly after stopping me out, only to tag me out again. This is why I usually like to keep my stops at least 2 swings back as well. Because if the market breaches the first swing high, there will be a reaction of sorts that should allow me to adjust my stops. It's not just the market stop hunting. Oh man, I am having no joy today. Oh, I did get a late filter entry signal on that Falcon. Come on, let's see a little follow through here. I suppose I could have tightened my order to get that late filter entry. Yeah, your first job in trading is to identify trend. And then try to trade with the trend as much as possible. Try to leave yourself a reasonable stop as much as possible. See, we haven't had a real good pullback ever since the open. Market opens here, it's been in decline. I find it a little bit easier to trade on a pullback. Yeah, here they go. They're going to tag me again, you scoundrels. See, they're going to make a run at this little itty bitty swing high. Looks like I might get another late filter entry signal here. The filter's out of sync. We'll see if it comes back into sync and we produce another sell signal. That would be a fairly reliable turn of events. Okay, there's the signal on the hash mark. So we got the late filter entry signal. Let's see if the Bollingers can get a little bit deeper. And then I should finally have a profitable trade. There we go. Why ask for trouble? Time to take the trade to break even. No. Oh, look at that. They just kissed my profit target, looked back, tagged me out, and now, of course, they should continue lower. Stinkers. Still waiting on a decent pullback here that would make it a little bit easier to get into this market, but right now the sellers taking the buyers to the woodshed. David's asking, how do you use the ATR trail indicator? I have it on the Raptor. Saw you had it last week. Well, there's a couple of ways you can use it. That's this squiggly red and blue line here that I have on the eagle. Of course, you can put it on any of your charts. ATR stands for average true range. And it was originally an entry system, but you can use it as a stop loss as well. The average true range, what it does is it tries to factor in volatility into its calculations. And it says over X number of bars, this is your average true price. It's one of these always in systems, and you can see that when the market is trending, it can actually work pretty darn well. Usually the way I use it is I like to see the signal in sync with the ATR line. So for instance, when we were getting a buy signal over here, because it was not in sync with the ATR line, I would actually allow the signal or the bar to exceed the ATR line before entering, in which case I would use the ATR as my entry point. And you can see that you can get some very nice follow through. Like I said, it was originally an always in system, which means it was used for initiating buy and sell signals. So when price broke the ATR down here, it would initiate a sell. When it breaks the ATR over here, it would initiate a buy. Now you can see, like I say, trending market, it looks like it works pretty good. And then you roll back here to where the market may not be trending so well. Well, actually, we got to go back a few days. It looks like it's been holding pretty steady for the eagle. This one might have been a little dodgy, shorting below here, and then this one buying as you flipped the other way. And now, of course, depending how well you managed your stops, these losses may not have been significant, but if you use the ATR as your exit order as well, both those trades might have taken a little bit of a bite. But yeah, the ATR kind of giving you a better view of the overall trend. Works great when the market is trending, as do most indicators. Not so well when it's not. Ron says I got a 6-arrow sell on the hawk. Yeah, you got to watch it when it gets to produce too many signals. You want to be a little bit suspicious. All right, looks as though the buyer's pushing back a little bit now. Might finally get that pullback. They do have a little ways to go, though. Oh, maybe not. Spoke too soon. And that's if we incorporate the overnight. If we incorporate the highs out of the open, well, it looks like we're almost there anyway. Ron says, I wound up with a 10 arrow sell, but it was good enough for a scalp. Good job. Yeah, usually if it prints more than 5 bars, I start to get or 5 signals, I start to get a little suspicious. David says, this morning I added another larger Raptor chart. Regular chart is 8, the larger is 15. It's helped me to keep focused on the overall trend. Less bars changing red and blue. Here's a picture. Unfortunately, I can't cut and paste the link out of there, out of the chat window. See you tomorrow, Aspen. Well, are we actually close enough here to, yeah, have we really breached a swing yet? A swing high? So close. Bollinger is very, very bullish here. Okay, we got ourselves a number 2 signal. And I'm going to treat this current bar as a second push on the number 2 signal. And I should probably just leave my profit as is if I can get it. Here we go. That's a little better. That's what we want to see, a little bit more oomph once we engage the signal. Once I see 3 points, I'll roll my stops to break even. There, come on, one more tick. There it is. All right. It's about 2/3 of the way to my profit objective. Really? Are you really going to hang on the median line now? Tag me at break even again? Ron, you're cleaning up here today. He says the first micro touch on the hawk, good for a scalp. Well done. They're going to kiss my profit target and better not leave me hanging again. I will not be amused. Yeah, yeah, Ron, you're right. 8 ticks is 8 ticks. Any profit is a good profit. Wow. Oh, David says on my 15 tick chart, the hard edge is 83.74.75, right where the median line is. And of course, whenever the market encounters the hard edge, we expect it to make some sort of reaction. Is that it? Did they flush all the buyers already? Yeah, apparently so. Well, I'm glad you guys are making out today. I'm having a little bit of a tough time. Tough slogging here. All right, I'll bring over David's chart here. He kindly emailed it to me. Yeah, so here's the 8 tick in the background, the 15 tick. Yes, it certainly is cleaner. You know, there's the larger your bars, your brick size, and like I said, trend is probably the most important factor. Once you can identify trend, the rest becomes easier. And I'm using air quotes when I say easier. Because trading is always a challenge. Well, one thing we can say for sure is now that the market has rallied a little bit into the hard edge, we've taken out one of these short-term swings. It looks bigger on the Hawk, the Falcon, or the Raptor. It doesn't look that significant on the Eagle. So it remains to be seen whether we're going to get a follow-through on the breakout, if in fact the market will consider this a breakout, or if it's going to wait for a more significant swing to breach, like up here. But if the market trades below the low, well, then the buyers are screwed. There won't be enough buying pressure to support the market, and the market will fall off. I don't know if we'll get all the way down to yesterday's lows, but let's see, where are we on the support and resistance lines? So if we breach primary support, the market will have a tendency to move 2 zones. Oh, actually, we could get pretty darn close. Yesterday's lows were somewhere around 8,300 if memory serves, but 2 zones will put us down here around 83.06 half. So something to keep in mind. Okay, here's a decent test of the extreme being the low down here. If the retest holds, we're actually going to produce a rule of 3 signal on the eagle, even though we're only going to have 2 signals to buy. Wow, everything just grinding again. I'm going to have to close the room up here shortly. I was hoping to get one more trade in, but time will not allow. All right, here's the rule of 3 on the eagle. A stop placement should be down here. So if you can afford a couple more dollars, that's a better stop. All right, gang, I got to run. If you are going to continue to trade, I think the market owes me one more move higher here. It looks like the next buy signal will, in fact, complete a rule of 3 and confirm that, at least for the short term, a bottom is in. I look for a little bit of a pushback here, but overall, the day is fairly bearish. So don't be surprised to see another bear push after the bull push. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you choose to buy in, don't get married to the position. Take your money. If it shows you a profit, take your money and look for another signal. All right. I will talk to you again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye for now.